What's up, y'all? It's the Shaman of Shank, back with the third installment of my knife reviews that are pretty much all Emerson. And like I said, down the road, I'll definitely throw some bucks in here. But today we got a real special one. This one, from the moment I put it in my hands, I fell in love. And I say that pretty much about all my Emersons, but this one just spoke to me, and it gets a lot of pocket time. And that knife that I'm talking about is the beautiful CQC8. It is an absolute dream. And as you see, I've put some red translucent screws on here. I got those bad boys from eBay. I'll put actually the guy I got them from down in the tags, so you can actually do that. It's actually a pretty cheap way, cost efficient way of kind of pimping out, you know, adding a little bit of spice to your knife. But the CQC8, what a beaut. This thing is an absolute workhorse. I really just can't say enough about it. And really, it's one of those knives, just like any knife, I guess you could say, but it's one of those knives that you just have to put in your hand to know what I'm talking about, because it feels amazing. Like the handle is just contoured, just so like, it's like a thin, like a slender handle more, but man, it just fits right in your hand. And I don't have the biggest hands in the world. Actually, my hands are relatively, I mean, they're not big at all. But this knife could accommodate huge hands, you know, smaller hands, and it just fits like a glove. And it is so nimble in the hand. It is just absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, like I've said, you know, with my two other reviews, it is a bigger knife. And when I say bigger, I don't really mean like in the sense of bulky. I mean like in the sense of, mainly in this case, length. Coming in at 9.3 inches total, completely opened with a 3.9 inch blade. I mean, it is definitely, it's definitely got a presence to it, no doubt about it. But this knife is, like I said, a workhorse. It can do anything you need it to do, but this knife, just like, you know, majority, if not, you know, 97 to 98% of Emersons are all focused on self-defense, tactical, and fighting knives. And it's been said plenty of times before. And like I said, this channel's not really a history lesson on anything, but, you know, I may touch on it a couple times. And from what I know or what I've read, you know, if I'm ever wrong about anything, please comment down there and please correct me. You know, let me know. But because I do love that stuff. But this knife was a born fighter, and that came out of Emerson's mouth himself. I believe I read somewhere that like over 30, well, now that review that I read was from 2016, so it's been well over 30 years ago. He designed this knife for a, let me think back here. I believe it was used in the Bosnian War, if I'm not mistaken. I may be mistaken on that, but I believe it did see some action in the Bosnian War, and I know that I've read that it's been used by SEALs, and it is bragged about substantially by the British SAS, Special Air Services. They actually, I read that they coined it the best folding fighter knife design ever created. And, you know, it feels right. Whenever you grab this knife, you feel like you're grabbing, I mean, it feels like a weapon, like you just feel ready to rock. I mean, and it's pretty light, to be honest with you. I'm not quite sure of the absolute weight on this. I'm gonna guess maybe 5 ounces. I may be wrong. I don't know, because I mean, like I said in my last review, the Market Skinner and the Apache, I said they both weighed 6 ounces, but it really felt substantial. The Apache felt substantially lighter than the Market Skinner. But the CQC8, guys, I can't say enough about it. And, you know, I love all my Emersons. I really do. But if there's one knife, and there's a couple in my collection that if I was to ask myself this question, I would consider them. But if there was one knife out of my collection, and they said, you know, you got to have one knife, we're going to drop you out in the middle of nowhere, you know, you're on your own for a while, and you have one knife to choose to take with you. This right here, I'd be hard pressed not to grab it and put it in the pocket. The blade design, I know, you know, I'm a clip point Bowie guy, but this blade is absolutely gorgeous and so functional in so many ways. I mean, and it's relatively thick. That point is really thick on there, so, you know, I wouldn't really worry about, you know, any chipping or breaking of that, of course, within reason. But the knife is just great, got a great belly on it, great little, like, you know, kind of drop point looking. I mean, and the handle, I can't say enough about it. And like I said, guys, you have to put your hands and actually grab one and feel the ergonomics of this to actually know what I'm talking about. Because before I bought this knife, I think this was like my 12th or 13th Emerson that I bought, but I can't believe it took me this long to actually get this knife in my hands. And like, I read reviews about the ergonomics, like they're just through the roof and they're amazing. But whenever you grab one and you feel it, you're like, that's what they were talking about. Like, it is amazing. And it's got a real slender profile as well, so it's great in the pocket. Even though it is a little bit longer, you know, it is a larger EDC, it feels great in the pocket. Like I said, I've never had an issue with that, but for anybody who was concerned about, you know, having some extra bulk in their pocket, don't be. This knife is great. And also they make the mini CQC8, which is coined the Horseman. I believe that one's about an inch smaller than this. I mean, like I said, I've always been a full-size EDC guy. I mean, I would love to have a Horseman too, but I would see this one being the one I would gravitate to taking. I like to have as much blade as I can in my pocket, but you know, everybody's different, and I respect that. But this knife is amazing. I can't say enough about it. And like I said, it's an old design from Emerson. It's been around. I mean, it's seen some war. It's seen some strenuous times, and it's withstood the test of time, and rightfully so. I mean, it just feels right in the hand. Like, I mean, and to be honest with you, I mean, this is going to be a weird comparison, but whenever I held this knife for the first time and I was using it, it was my everyday, and I still do use it. I'm actually carrying it today in my pocket. That's why I'm reviewing. I'm like, hey, let me break out the CQC8 real quick. But it reminds me a lot of the way when I was younger, my primary carry was a buck 110, and it just, and I know it looks nothing like a buck 110 completely kind of day and night, but it just has that slender feel to me, and just that great, just like it's ready to rock anytime you need it. But it just has that feel to me of that utility and that versatility that a knife should be, and it is just amazing. If you're new into Emerson and you're coming across this, and there's one knife out of that, this is a great, I don't want to use the word beginner knife for somebody getting into Emerson, but if you get this knife, I am pretty much 99% sure that you will be pleased with it. You know, like I said, after, you know, going over the specs of it, of the length, and just, you know, kind of getting a feel for that. But like I said, it does not feel like that in the hand. I mean, of course you feel like you see length in it and all that good stuff, but it feels great. Great weight, great distribution of the weight with the blade in the handle. And I mean, it is just phenomenal. It's phenomenal, and I highly recommend it. This one is a winner. It's a winner. And like I said, I love all my Emersons. They all have a special place in my heart. But the CQC8 is an absolute must. It's a must if you're getting into Emerson, or you're looking for a great everyday user for utility. And like I said, God forbid, defending yourself with a knife. I mean, this thing will rock it. And you know, it's also I think an old nickname for it was called, they were calling it the banana knife, which I mean, I can kind of see, kind of looks like a kind of banana-ish sway to it, or whatever you want to, whatever, you know, it looks like. But great knife, great for anything you can possibly throw at it. Definitely check it out. And like I said, I'll also put the eBay buyer that I got these screws from. He has an array of them: green, blue, red, stainless steel, brass. They're pretty cool. It's called, I think it's called, with no spaces, Screws For You. I'll check that out. Like I said, I'll put it down below if you want to check it out. And great way to kind of, you know, add some flair to your knife. I actually called this, the nickname for this one, I call it my Hateful 8, because of, you know, the red accents in it, you know, kind of like the movie Hateful 8, you know, CQC8. You see what I did there? But I hope you guys enjoyed the CQC8, guys. Check it out. It's a must. You'll love it. You won't regret it. It's truly a gem of a knife. A gem of a knife, and it will go the long haul, man. It feels solid in hand, like pretty much every Emerson that I can speak for, and super useful in so many different ways. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day, and I look forward to dropping video 4 with whatever comes out of this old pocket next. You guys have a good one, and stay sharp.